Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Korah, Badash. Oh, praises, honor, glory, love, respect, faith, and power and trust. And all credit to my Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and my Heavenly Big Brother, Yahweh Shah. Thank you so much for what you've done, what you're doing, and what you're going to do. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops of GMS, Great Millstone, who I learned from, and all the men scattered all over the world teaching His truth, and none but the truth in the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh by Shema Shah, trying to put a spiritual bug in you Hebrew Israelites' ears, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and you speckled birds. And what is a speckled bird? That'd be a Hebrew Israelite that look like some of the heathen nations, like for example, a Hebrew Israelite that look like a so-called white person or so-called Chinese person, etc., etc. And I got some videos lined up related to surveillance, and when it comes to surveillance, it's going to lead ultimately to that chip implant to market the beast. So anyway, I'm going to play these videos. I'm going to get into the scriptures to my best ability, say whatever God say through the spirit, the power of Yahweh by Shema Shah, the Holy Spirit, the Korah, Badash, Lord will be on me. Let's get it.
Two former Palantir employees reconnected by phone earlier this year. One of them opened the conversation with, "Hey, are you tracking Palantir's descent into fascism?" That was the greeting, not, "Hey, how's it going? How have you been? What are you working on now?" Just, "Are you tracking the descent into fascism?" When two people who built your system start using that kind of language, something fundamental has shifted. I'm El, I have a PhD in computer science, and I analyze AI developments to understand what's actually happening beneath all of this hype. What is unfolding inside Palantir right now tells us something super important about what happens when surveillance infrastructure meets ideological certainty. Just for brief context, Palantir builds data integration platforms. That's the boring way to say it. The more accurate way is they build software that takes information scattered across dozens of incompatible databases and makes it searchable, mappable, analyzable in real time. The company was founded in 2003, named after the all-seeing orbs from the Lord of the Rings. Technically, they're from the Silmarillion, made by Fëanor, my hero, but let's cut the daydreaming. Basically, the ones that let you see across vast distances, but also, in the books, kind of slowly corrupt anyone who uses them. One could argue the corruption was done by Sauron, but that's pretty irrelevant for this video. It's basically quite subtle branding by the company. Their customer list is the CIA, ICE, the Department of Homeland Security, the UK's National Health Service, the US military, that kind of people. They've held government contracts worth billions, positioning themselves as essential infrastructure for national security and public sector operations. And for 2 decades, Palantir employees could rationalize the external criticism. Privacy advocates pushed back, civil liberties group questioned the work, but internally, the framing basically held. We're the ones making sure surveillance power doesn't get abused. We're building safeguards. We're the good guys in a complicated situation. Well, that framing just flipped. And here's what changed. In January 2026, ICE agents shot and killed Alex Bretty, a 37-year-old intensive care nurse in Minneapolis. He was filming law enforcement with his phone, directing traffic around a protest. Bystander video shows that he was unarmed, just holding his phone, when he was shot multiple times. I'm sure you all remember that one. Palantir software powers ICE operations. Specifically, they built something called Elite, a tool that scrapes Medicaid databases and other government records to generate deportation leads. It creates dossiers on people, assigns confidence scores to their home addresses, maps potential targets. Nearly 8 million Medicaid patients' data were repurposed for immigration enforcement. When Pretty was killed, Palantir employees started asking questions in internal Slack channels. Basic questions: were we involved? Are we doing anything to stop a repeat? The company's response was, according to Wired reporting, Palantir started auto-deleting conversations in at least one Slack channel after 7 days. Just stop and think about that for just a second. The company that sells data analytics and transparency to governments began scrubbing its own employees' questions about whether their own software helped facilitate a killing. Then in late February, a US airstrike hit a girls' elementary school in Iran. 120 school children died. Multiple investigations concluded the strike relied on outdated targeting data. The school had been walled off from a military compound over a decade ago, but the target list was never updated. Precision weapons, 10-year-old spreadsheet. Palantir's platforms are embedded in US military targeting systems. Again, employees asked internally, were we involved? CEO Alex Karp's solution was that he released an hour-long pre-recorded video that, according to reporters, avoided specifics about product capabilities or ICE's use of Palantir software. He offered employees one-on-one briefings, but only if they signed NDAs first. You can't ask questions about whether your software killed people unless you legally agree never to tell anyone the answers. What we're watching...
But he did say it. He came out and said it. Hey, we kill people. Hey, we kill people. And this nigga had no shame in that shit. Heck yeah.
is the difference between external...
And guess what happened? Nothing. Nothing happened to his ass.
Criticism and internal crisis. External pressure is manageable when your workforce believes in the mission, but when the people actually building the system start openly questioning whether they're enabling harm, that kind of sounds like structural instability. One former employee described it to Wired this way, I'm quoting, "The broad story of Palantir, as told to itself and to employees, was that coming out of 9/11, we knew there was going to be this big push for safety, and we were worried that safety might infringe on..."
Yeah. And then here comes TSA, and then the Patriot Act, and I don't know what else is out there. But yeah, safety.
Civil liberties.
And then more things gonna happen. They're gonna be pushing safety. They're gonna want to push the chip implant, the mark of the beast.
And now
And AI surveillance and all that shit.
the threat is coming from within. We were supposed to be the ones preventing these abuses, and now we're not preventing them, we seem to be enabling them. Meanwhile, Palantir's leadership doubled down. Earlier this month, they posted a 22-point manifesto summarizing CEO Karp's book. We have a separate long video analysis on that, check it out if you like. A direct quote from that is, "This new dogma glosses over the fact that certain cultures, and indeed subcultures, have produced wonders, others have proven middling, and worse, regressive and harmful." Silicon Valley defense contractors publicly ranking cultures as superior or inferior, literally the ideological framework every major 20th century atrocity was justified with, just dressed up in startup language. Karp's response to employee dissent was, if you have a position that does not cost you even to lose an employee, it's not a position. He's treating attrition as proof of moral courage instead of what it actually is, institutional collapse. And here's the valuation absurdity. Palantir currently trades at a price-to-earnings ratio around 212. The S&P 500 average is 26. The stock is priced 8 times higher than the market, assuming the company will maintain current profitability for over 2 centuries. Investors are literally betting Palantir will outlive the United States itself, while its own engineers are discussing fascism in the break room. The company has a $340 billion market cap on $4.5 billion in annual revenue. For comparison, that is a higher valuation than most S&P 500 companies, despite generating less revenue than a decent regional grocery chain. I'm actually developing a course in 2 tiers for non-technical professionals where AI is explained simply, not dumbed down, just clarified. If you'd like to take 2 minutes to answer some questions which directly shape what the course covers, the link is down below. So where does all of this go? We've seen this pattern before, actually. Back in 2018, Google employees pushed back against Project Maven, AI for military drone footage analysis. Google withdrew from the contract, but Google had diversification options: consumer products, cloud services, advertising. Palantir doesn't have that. 60% of their revenue comes from government contracts. The work their employees are questioning is the business model. And in terms of what's going to happen next, either Palantir loses the talent war, the engineers who can build those systems decide the reputational cost just isn't worth it and leave for enterprise SaaS companies, or they become a pure ideological filter, hiring only people who already agree with the mission. If it's the first, execution risk becomes a real problem for their government customers. You cannot really deliver cutting-edge AI systems if your institutional knowledge keeps walking out the door. If it's the second, you get technical stagnation, ideological homogeneity, and engineering excellence rarely coexist. You really need people who'll question your assumptions, and you just fire them all. There is a third possibility, and it's the one Palantir seems to be betting on, that they've embedded themselves so deeply into government infrastructure that it doesn't even matter, that they've become too essential to replace regardless of internal turmoil or external criticism. But here's the thing about building surveillance systems in a democracy, and I mean actual democracies, not the rhetorical version. When your value to the government is primarily ideological alignment with a specific political project, you become a visible target the moment that project loses power. Fascism as a business strategy only works if the fascists stay in power indefinitely, and in the United States, that historically has been a very bad bet. What we're watching is a test case for something genuinely significant. Can a company that builds infrastructure for state power survive when the people building it stop believing in the mission? Can you maintain technical excellence when your engineers open conversations with, "Hey, are you tracking the descent into fascism?" The answer will tell us a lot about where the line actually is between building tools and building weapons, and whether that line still matters to the people writing the code. For a related topic on AI systems and power concentration, the video on your screen right now breaks down how Frontier Labs are structuring access to their models and what that means for who controls these systems long term. Thank you all so much for watching.
I got another video about these niggas.
Karp's response to employee
I forgot to bring it down. Let me go and try to bring it. Yeah, where I'm going.
I don't know why we wouldn't listen to childless tech billionaires who love Satan. And I guess Peter Thiel's adopted kids, so I'm not trying to say he doesn't have kids. I'm sure it's a happy family. Palantir, these are the people that came out and were like, we're going to be fighting a 4-front war. So get ready for that. So we need a draft. But Palantir is basically saying, whether you like it or not, we are the government.
Tim Dillon just exposed Palantir's scheme to enslave Americans and in fact dominate our lives, coming just a few days after Palantir released a manifesto of sorts of 22 points, including those that call for a draft. What do you know? So these tech billionaires don't have to go and fight wars for Israel. We have to do that. Tim breaks this down, exposes the lunacy behind this.
And most of the damn tech billionaires are Amalek. Not Israel, but Amalek.
And these plans that are so sinister in his typical sardonic way. Let's get right into it. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel.
If you thought about like a Pinky in the Brain world domination plan, and you asked a sketch artist to come up with who they thought would be carrying this out, and you know, this is Peter Thiel's partner here, not romantically, but in global governance, This is exactly what you would think. I mean, this is exactly what you would come up with. You would come up with this guy. But Palantir put out a manifesto, and I believe it is 22 points? I believe it is 22 points. I believe that Palantir is coming out and telling everybody, hey, we need, what is it? Is it 22? Yeah. So a 22-point plan that Palantir thinks is important. Now, you might say to yourself, and one of them is they're calling for a draft. Seems odd, right? But hey, like, you might say to yourself, well, they're a defense tech company. They have an interest in American military matters, but we've been a draft-free country for a very, very long time. And the promise...
It ain't been that long ago. About 40, 50 years.
...of technology was that it was going to make wars less common. That was one of the promises of technology, that an interconnected, interdependent world would not go to war as much.
Yeah, and also one of the promises was the technologies would make wars easier to wage without individuals being direct front and center in the line of fire. So much for that, with Palantir calling for a draft. So Tim is right. He does say, Peter Thiel and Alex Karp not romantically connected, only in terms of global governance, but that is Palantir's ultimate form of romanticism. It is global governance. It is integration with the deep state, with the CIA, to impose this surveillance state on Americans, shredding the Fourth Amendment, making the NSA blush, making Snowden's revelations seem like child's play. That's exactly what Palantir does via Alex Karp and Peter Thiel. So whether they're romantically connected in the traditional sense, their version of romanticism is this kind of domination over our lives, I would say. And indeed, just because the U.S. hasn't been drafting for many years, the underpinnings of the draft system are still in place. That's the selective service system, the cards you have to send in that really should be burned because it's total slavery to the state. In some ways, the worst form of slavery, with the state.
What the hell he know about the worst form of slavery? Whatever.
Putting you in harm's way, usually at the behest, these days, of Israel. There's no lower form of criminality than that. The state gets away with it all the time, and they can just invoke a draft any time with the information they have from selective service. It's horrifying, and Palantir's saying, hey, this should continue.
But Palantir is like, let's relax with that, because we think there's going to be a lot of wars. Palantir, to their credit, came out and said, we think there's going to be wars and big ones. We think there's going to be some big wars, and we're going to be a Palantir. These are the people that came out and were like, we're going to be fighting a 4-front war. So get ready for that. So we need a draft, and we need a lot of money, and we're going to build a lot of autonomous drone death machines, and we're going to need a lot of security measures for the homeland. So goodbye to your liberty. Bye-bye. This will be like the Patriot Act on steroids, what the people in Palantir are planning. But by the way, let's give Palantir a fair shake. I'm a fan of that on this show. I've always been a fan of that on this show, that we give everyone a fair shake. Now, people don't like that. They get angry. They accuse me of having some bias or whatever. You're in the tank. I'm giving everyone a fair shake. And people get angry at me. They're mad at me. Let's go through this manifesto point by point.
Yeah, let's do it. But Palantir subsists on the state like a parasite. They are intrinsically connected to the state via long-term contracts. Their first client was the CIA for something like 5 years when Peter Thiel started it up with CIA money through In-Q-Tel, which is the CIA's financial arm. And that is what has propped them up. And they have unlimited incentive to start wars, to encourage wars, to propagandize Americans with the data they have on us in this centralized collated database that they've created through the software system that they've installed in various U.S. agencies called Foundry. And that's something that's horrifying. It's something that the Free Thought Project's talked about, Whitney Webb has talked about. It's a real and sinister problem. That's why they're talking about all these wars. We have this need for wars. Well, they financially benefit from those wars and using dystopian schemes like they are in Gaza to determine who lives and dies through AI algorithms. And you see the mass casualties of women and children and innocents there, and you just wonder, maybe we don't do this. Maybe in a virtuous society, we wouldn't have this Palantir surveillance state and war machine.
But you do, because, it's 11:44 on the clock. All praise Yahweh Shema Shah, the body Yahweh Shema Shah, just noticed it. But yeah, but you do, the reason why, because the earth was given to the hands of the wicked. And these wicked-ass individuals, speaking of Esau, even so-called white man, but he ain't white, he's red, he's a baby dick sucking Jewish faggot nigger, Amalek. He want to be as a god, so guess what? This is the only way he can get to being like God-like status by using his technology, having cameras everywhere, AI and control, this, that, and this, and have you people ultimately microchip. This ain't all these videos ain't just stuff related to what's going on in America when it comes to surveillance and AI and all that shit. There's also stuff in the world there's some videos related to what's going on. Where it's just a lot of videos I got is related to America, but I got some videos. I had deleted one video, but I'm gonna add it back in. I'm not gonna play too much of this video, but I'm gonna let me see. One video I had removed, I've decided to put it back in. I'm gonna play that one next. What is it called? Big Brother Watch. They based in the UK. Watch this, see what they talking about.
We're disappointed by today's judgment, which finds the Metropolitan Police's expansive use of live facial recognition to be in accordance with the law. However, the fight to protect the public's rights from facial recognition mass surveillance is far from over. We fully support Sean Thompson in seeking to appeal this judgment.
I know I ain't got nothing wrong. It's simple. And I've told you once.
Oh man, this is old, but yeah, and it's Jake. See, they use that facial recognition AI power shit to discriminate on Jake. That shit is all set up to discriminate on Jake all the fucking time. And you know they did this shit on purpose. From the US to the UK to anywhere else, discriminate on Jake.
The guy's face.
Now they might not discriminate on Jake. Like say if somebody look like a so-called black man, he in Thailand. Nah, cause he can, well, I'm gonna say blend in, cause you got some Thai people that look like, you know, a so-called black man, but whatever. Anyway.
You show him there. I'm saying that face.
Fucking niggers over here.
I've said that.
Big ass motherfuckers.
I see that stuff. Why do you think you don't put it?
And they know this bullshit, and they just love to fuck with the guy.
We're on the precipice of a completely different world,
Even the Jake cop wanna fuck with him.
where cameras act as identity checkpoints on every street corner, turning open societies into systems of
That shit
constant
look tacky as fuck. All them cameras everywhere, but they don't give a fuck. They got eyes watching people, and hey, it's the new world order.
surveillance.
Soon they gonna be not just cameras, but drones flying around, and they gonna have cameras, and they gonna have guns on it or whatever. I don't say firearms.
There's never been a more important moment to defend our rights and freedoms from dystopian tech. The Metropolitan Police's use of live facial recognition in London is
And she keep talking about this stuff, but how's it working out? That shit ain't gonna. Y'all can petition, protest. It's still gonna go. You can't fight the prophecies. You can't fight this new world order shit. You got to let the Lord do it. For you Israelites, you got to seek the Lord, repent, and let the Lord bring this shit down, because this is the Lord's glory, not your glory, not glory of man, but glory of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai.
unprecedented. Last year alone, 4.2 million people's faces were scanned. That's more than any other European capital or Western democracy. We support the responsible use of new technology in policing, but the Met's current approach is excessive, intrusive, and risks misidentifying innocent people. With powerful surveillance tools now readily available, we urgently need laws and policies that protect the public and uphold the hard-won democratic freedoms that define Britain. This legal challenge has already driven meaningful change. After the legal action began, the Met Police committed to a thorough and detailed review of its live facial recognition policy and to take into account our arguments. The Commissioner accepted that parts of the previous policy were not clearly expressed and could be read as allowing a permissive approach to facial recognition deployments. In September 2024, the Met Police introduced a new policy which limited who can be added to watch lists, removing broad categories that allowed people deemed to be at risk of harm, victims, and associates of other people on watch lists to be included. However, very serious concerns remain. The new policy creates a low threshold for live facial recognition to be used at any so-called crime hotspots, defined so broadly that it can be used across the vast majority of the city, as our expert evidence showed. With millions of people already being scanned under this framework, there's a real risk of normalising constant identity checks through widespread camera networks, far beyond what the public would expect for such a powerful tool. The permanent installation of facial recognition cameras in Croydon highlights how this chilling infrastructure could expand. We can also now disclose that the Met Police paid Sean Thompson a settlement in response to his claim for damages. His experience, being wrongly stopped, detained and questioned by the police, showed the real risks that members of the public face with mass facial recognition. We don't want to become a nation of walking ID cards where we're all treated...
And I mean, and clearly they know that I seen the old footage of that shit. And they showed that the ID, that who the cops had identified totally looked different from him, but they still kept fucking with the guy. I'm like, they were just waiting for him to, you know, they expect Jake to lose his cool and start swinging and you know, acting violent and shit. That's what they want to fuck with him. And shit, I mean, this shit, oh, hey, man, oppression makes a wise man go mad. Or how'd it go? Let me check. is it at? They hit Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse where I'm at. 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. Yeah. You goddamn losing your mind, about to go crazy. Or either just angers you. Mad can mean being angry or just going insane. It's driving us insane with all this shit. But that's why we got these we got the gospel, we got the truth, we got Yahweh by Shema Shah. We call on the names to keep us keep us insane. I mean not insane, keep us stable spiritually and mentally. Let's get to the next one. Like these folks, they gonna lose their goddamn mind. They call on they already lost their mind calling on Jeeber. These motherfuckers are retarded as hell.
Starburst, different every time.
It's time for the $9.99 Great
It's always poison.
Haircut sale at Great
Let me
Clips.
stop, cause hell, I sometimes eat them damn things.
Your chance to get a great haircut.
So this is probably one of the biggest invasions of privacy I've ever seen, and it's even weirder coming from the US. Now don't get me wrong, the US has a checkered past when it comes to people's privacy, but around the world we look at America a bit like the land of the free. You have things like your First Amendment rights. Boy can dream, boy really can dream. But in this case, things ain't looking so sweet. The US may force operating systems to have mandatory age verification and share info with third parties. Now what's happened here is, you may have seen recently, I covered it briefly on the channel, where America is rolling out their own federal level regulation which will require operating system age verification. So whether that's on your phone, whether that's on your computer, on your PlayStation, on your tablet, you'll be required to verify your age on a platform level, so everything from the baseline anyway is on your operating system. Now let's not beat around the bush here. What this means is there will be a form of identification, your identification, whether it's passport, driving license, whatever it might be, linked to your device, which means that everything you do on that device, which is linked to the device, is linked to you. Now fortunately, with private internet access VPN, at the link down below, your browsing experience can at least be private. Private internet access don't keep any logs whatsoever, so if a government subpoenas them for access to what websites you visited, well, they can't see because they don't keep any logs. So if you do want to support the channel and get 4 months free and 86% off, check out the link down below. But other than your browsing experience by using good VPNs, everything becomes accessible to the government. And this is where things get a little bit more complicated. In fact, a lot more complicated. So the plan at the moment, as part of their proposal that they've put forward in the US, is that essentially, if you are trying to access an application that the federal government doesn't believe you're old enough to access, whether that be social media platforms or whatever, what that means is that the app developer will send a ping to your operating system to confirm your age. Now, that hasn't been outlined so specifically. This has led to many different theories of how this is going to work. Whether this is going to be, for example, these app developers being able to see a copy of your identification, passport, driving license, whatever it might be, or whether it's simply just a ping for the device to go, yes, we've already verified their age. This hasn't been outlined in the legislation because governments love a fucking good grey area. But we have to assume worst case scenario here because, well, to be honest, when we play the benefit of the doubt game, it never works out. So what this looks like at the moment is that every single person that owns a phone that's over the age of maybe 16 or 18 in the US, or in fact the UK as well, we will talk about that another time, will be required by law to verify their age on their device, which can be shared with every third-party app developer that you use on your phone. Now if you think of every single app that you use, not just on a daily basis but on a monthly basis, even those apps that you open once every 2 weeks, they will be able to check your age. And we know already that there's loads of like really good gaming apps out there, just, you know, the brain rot that you use to kill an hour in the evening here or there, and you should be turning off tracking on those apps. But we know they ask for everything like access
They don't really turn off.
to your photo album, access to your contacts, all of this stuff. What's stopping these application developers from far-flung countries that you don't know, you don't really trust, from requesting access to more important information, like your identity? At the moment, this is too early to really dive into the legislation itself because at the moment, it's just proposed legislation. It's not enforced yet, and there's nothing to say it will go through the final stages. But the fact that the land of the free, America, is willing to even propose this speaks volumes of the end result that a lot of nations are looking for at the moment, which is full, complete, and total control over their citizens, their data, and of course, traceability. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy,
Yep. Let's get to the next video.
A camera mounted on a grocery store shelf is watching you. It's analyzing your face, determining your age, your gender, possibly your race. It's cross.
And you'll think it's all about security, making sure you don't steal shit. That don't stop none of that shit. But whatever.
referencing that data with your purchase history, your browsing data, and information bought from data brokers about your income and shopping habits. An AI is calculating in real time the maximum price you personally will tolerate for the gallon of milk you just picked up. It updates the electronic price tag to display that number. You walk to the register, the price might change by the time you check out. The person next to you picking up the same milk sees a different price because the AI determined they would pay more. This is not a pitch for a Black Mirror episode. It's called the Kroger's Edge System, Enhanced Display for Grocery
Shit, I work for these faggots.
environment, which sounds less like a grocery store feature and more like a feature Microsoft would announce at a developer conference and then quietly discontinue 18 months later. It's currently deployed in over 500 Kroger stores. Walmart is rolling out similar systems to 2,300 stores by 2026. Whole Foods and Amazon Fresh have them too. Maryland just became the first state in the US to ban it. I'm Elle, I have a PhD in computer science, and I analyze...
They banned that shit. Now, I asked one of the employees about AI, but they don't know nothing about that shit. They just a bunch of... Well, how can I say it? They don't know shit in that place. And hell, I remember I asked them about, do they have like a production, like some kind of... You know how they had a footage of, it was like a barista. And these people here was like, no, the AI system was filming the barista workers. And they were counting like, this person here pulled this many cups, made this any orders. And this person, he stood here for 5 minutes long on their phone. And they grabbed a napkin and stood back. Yeah, you know, they were just pretty much AI was analyzing and recording everything they were doing. And I asked them about that shit, if they had something like that set up at the at Kroger's. And I was like, I mean, they were like, nah, I don't think so. But shit, you never know. You never know. But I've been there for about, since November. Yeah, I've been there at that store since November. But, whatever. I don't know much about what's going on in that store, what they have. But, anyway, let me get back to the video. I'm just rambling.
AI developments to understand what's actually happening beneath the hype. The technical term for this is dynamic pricing, but the more accurate term is surveillance pricing, which is when you know the marketing department lost the internal branding battle. Here's how the system works. Electronic shelf labels, small digital screens replacing paper price tags, let retailers change prices in less than seconds. The market for these devices was $1.85 billion in 2024 and is...
It's crazy that, let's say a shopper goes into an aisle and sees this price is $5. They gonna get it, but then they leave, and then another particular another another shopper comes in, and the price change on them for $5.25, and then they leave. They pick that item up for $5.25, and then they leave. Which that don't make sense. That wouldn't make sense at all if that happened, because that price, anyway, that wouldn't make sense. Then again, I don't know. Anyway, let me be quiet.
Projected to reach $7.54 billion by 2033. That is a $7.5 billion industry built around...
The prices go up based on somebody's profile. I don't know.
Making it easier to change the price of bread. Kroger introduced the system back in 2018. By 2024, the company partnered with a retail analytics firm called Intelligence Node, which is generally what they're called, Intelligence Node, like they're sat around a conference table and somebody said, what if we named ourselves like an AI villain in a near future dystopia? And everyone just agreed that was the right move. Intelligence Node uses AI to provide dynamic pricing. Kroger also partnered up with Microsoft to develop the Edge Shelf system. Microsoft embedded cameras into the displays that use facial recognition to determine your age and gender. Kroger insists the cameras are only for personalized advertisements, not pricing, which is kind of reassuring. They're only watching your face to sell you things, not to charge you more. Totally different things, right?
Yeah. So I was saying something. I thought it was leading on to that. Like they'll charge you based on your profile, charge you more or less based on your profile. But I don't see how they'll keep up with that. But shit, anything's possible.
Kroger also partnered with a company called Cooler Screens, which replaces the transparent refrigerator doors with digital screens embedded with cameras.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we seen that shit. Some brothers posted videos up about, was it Walgreens, and I think it was CV. I think it was a Walgreens, and they had the little, and then plus the screens are fucking heavy duty. They're damn near bulletproof to make sure nobody don't get inside. And plus, I think it's magnetically locked. I don't know, cause then also it's got a RFID key. Contactless payment too, but a contactless key to be able to you got to open it up, but they have it freely open, but soon they're gonna have it closed and you got to require a RFID key or some kind of particular device that's RFID contactless wireless key to be able to open up the doors. And they getting ready for that shit with the chip implants. Yeah, they gonna be using them damn doors for them chip implants. Yep. Or a chip implant be required to open up the doors. That's what I meant to say.
So now you can't see what's in the fridge, there's just a screen showing you ads for the yogurt you're trying to locate.
Yeah.
While a camera watches you squint at a display trying to figure out if they still have the Greek kind. The whole setup...
I'm pretty sure they'll have a number. They ain't gonna just show the screen. They'll show you the quantity amount that they have in behind the display screen.
Drew comparisons to Minority Report, a 2002 sci-fi film where Tom Cruise gets served ass because he's been implanted with another man's eyes. That's the cultural reference points we've arrived at. A Phillips K. Dick story about surveillance and identity theft is now the grocery shop experience in 2026. Back in August 2024, Senators Elizabeth Warren and Bob Casey sent Kroger's CEO a letter with some questions. The key line was this: Edge will allow Kroger to use customer data to build personalized profiles of each customer, and then use those profiles to determine how much price hiking each of us can tolerate, quickly updating and displaying the customer's maximum willingness to pay on the digital price tag. Your maximum willingness to pay, not the cost of production, not the market rate, your personal pain threshold for milk, calculated by an algorithm in real time. The senators warned that, I'm quoting, the price of basic household goods could surge based on the time of day, the weather, or other transitory events. The weather. Milk could cost more because it's raining, which makes sense if you think about it. People need milk when it rains, of course, supply and demand, right? Except the supply hasn't changed, the demand hasn't changed, just the sky did a thing, so now the price is different. Totally makes sense. Representative Rashiba Tlaib raised different concerns entirely. Studies have shown that facial recognition technology is flawed and can lead to discrimination in predominantly black and brown communities.
Yep, you Israelites, and they done that on purpose. Come on now, at least say she get an evangelist for we're not ignorant of his device. They did that shit on purpose. Just to fuck with you tribes.
Facial recognition algorithm.
But tribes that look a certain way but not look like her way. You're gonna have Israelites that gonna look like her though. You know. But when it comes to you other tribes that don't look like her or have the they bright skin, then shit. With different hair texture and all that other shit, man, they do that shit on purpose. They're the Esau, that's the devil for you.
Have higher error rates for darker skin tones. This is true. So the system could misidentify black customers, build incorrect
brown customers. Correction, because there ain't no such thing as black people, just like there's no such thing as white people. There's only brown and red. And you could debate with me about that shit. You stupid as fuck. Why waste time? There people in waste time debating over that shit. I'm just like, goodness fucking gracious, nigga. These niggas stupid. Anyway.
profiles and charge them higher prices, not because of any malice, just because the AI is bad at faces nobody checks.
Oh, so they do? Oh, so I was right. They'll charge you more. But I was like, and once you get to the cash register, then you're up to be then the AI will know that you're at the cash register and charge you for it. Hey man, that Esau's a motherfucking nigga, man. It's like he charge you everything more. For auto insurance, property tax, all that bullshit.
Kroger responds.
And here, you call 911, shit, and they know who you are. Here, they'll be showing up in the next hour. Meanwhile, if somebody like her called 911, they'll show up in 1 minute.
To all of this with a statement, to be clear, Kroger does not and has never engaged in surge pricing. Any test of electronic shelf tags is designed to lower prices for more customers where it matters most. To suggest otherwise is not true. Okay, so to recap, Kroger partnered with Intelligence Node for AI-powered dynamic pricing. Kroger partnered with Microsoft to embed facial recognition cameras throughout stores. Kroger deployed electronic shelf labels that can change prices instantly across 500 stores. Kroger installed cameras in refrigerator doors. But
my Kroger, when I work at, they don't have that price changing tags and shit yet.
Technology is exclusively for lowering prices. Yeah, I buy that. It's like installing a very elaborate knife sharpener in your kitchen.
They're lowering prices, but they gonna have to make that money back from all the new upgrades they got from some of these stores. They got to make that money back somehow.
And insisting it's
damn well they ain't gonna be about lowering prices. They're gonna be higher prices. Fucking yeah.
Only for cutting vegetables while standing in what appears to be a crime scene. In March 2026, Maryland Governor Wes Moore testified before the state legislature, I'm quoting, "If Miles and I were to go into a supermarket at the same time, we could pick up the exact same item and be charged a different price for it because they know that I'll pay it," which is a pretty clear...
I didn't think, when I was saying that, I was like, I couldn't imagine that being that way, but yeah, if I go into the store and I see the price is $5.25, they gonna charge me for that. Once I get to the cash register, they identify me at the cash register as this person that, but then when it comes to her, she get charged $5 when they price change and all that shit. Anyway, And then, anyway, this is a bunch of bullshit, but this is the world we're living in.
The articulation of the problem. Two people, same milk, different prices. Because an algorithm decided one of them is willing to tolerate more financial pain. Earlier this month,
Jake.
Maryland passed the Protection from Predatory Pricing Act, banning dynamic pricing in grocery stores. The bill goes into effect in October this
year. And they want to say that racism doesn't exist. Nigga, please. Yeah, you motherfuckers. You got AI set. These niggas got AI programmed to be fucking discriminated on people of I won't say color, because you got many people of color, you know, but I'll say Israelites, so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Indians. I won't say speckled birds because y'all can blend in. But when it comes to you Israelites that look like so-called Latinos, blacks, Native Indians, shit. Yeah.
Here, there's just
that dude. They have their way with us.
One tiny issue, according to Justin Brookman, director of marketplace
I ain't gonna play no
policy.
More of this. If you want to watch the rest of the video, be my guest. They go to title, they go to channel. I got more videos to get into. Let's get it.
USDA $300 million deal with murderous spy corporation.
Palantir is a threat.
Killer AI robots.
What the fuck was that shit?
$300 million deal with murderous spy.
Look at this nigga here. Look at it. Look at this fucking nigga. This talking about Palantir's a threat, nigga. Nigga. God damn, nigga.
AI corporation.
America need to be nuked.
Here is a threat.
Killer AI robots.
Nigga, goddamn, America need to be. Nobody couldn't take this nigga serious because this nigga is in a dress.
Necessary to scare enemies, on occasion kill them.
Covering.
Yeah, they need to send a fucking killer drone for that fucking cross-dressing nigga.
The corporate media covers up. Hey, it's JT Siskowski with Status Coup. Peter Thiel's tech giant Palantir, which is a company that makes its money by helping implement the omnipotent surveillance state here in the United States, has just closed a deal with the federal government to take over complete control of oversight over the U.S.'s food production system. What could go wrong? Let's first start by, before we get into the details of that deal, reminding you of who Palantir is. This is a clip of Alex Karp, the company's CEO, gleeful.
So these niggas gonna be somewhat in charge with drafting people? And they're going to be in charge of somewhat of your food supply. And then they're going to be in charge of your medicine, Medicare, and health. And they're going to be your doctors. And that AI sense is going to be your doctor, precision, or whatever you call them, folks. They do physicals. They're going to have an AI machine do a physical. And they're going to want you to cough. But be shit. You got to get the fuck out of here.
Gleefully telling investors that their business is, one, doing clandestine shit, and two, killing people.
And we're super proud of the role we play, especially in places we can't talk about. And we
See, I told you earlier, this nigga here, they all happy. This dude, he don't mind talking about the shit that they do.
love our success in the U.S. and globally. Also, we are doing
nigga proud of being a fucking murderer.
United Kingdom and many other places. Palantir is here to disrupt and make the institutions we partner with the very best in the world when it's necessary to scare enemies and on occasion kill them. We hope you're in favor of that.
Oh man.
And we're really happy and very, very focused on what.
And this is the guy who, these are the people that rule the world. These are the people. He's a small hat nigger. He's a baby dick sucking Jewish faggot fucker. He's the holy people. He's of the holy people. He's talking like this. What the fuck? He's of the holy people. His hat couldn't fit on all that raggedy ass head of his. Shit. Yeah, that little small cap, that beanie couldn't fit on all that crazy, that rat nest on top of his head. But shit. But he's still of the small pat people. Amalek.
What we're doing.
So listen to the shit he's saying. Damn. We're proud about killing people, murdering people. And if you got a problem with it, we're going to sell some drones to your monkey ass. And get you too.
Murderous spy corporation is who the USDA has turned to have surveillance over America's food system from CNBC. Palantir Inc.'s $300 million deal with USDA to safeguard food supply. Palantir announced
one thing, I did a video about this shit. I had other videos, a bunch of compilations of videos. But thumbnail was, hold on, my thumbnail was this image, but I posted it on YouTube. Now, Odyssey, they didn't change it up, but on YouTube, they keep changing. They'll change thumbnails up every now and then. They'll switch it from auto. I'm like, why you niggas keep doing this shit? I was thinking about checking to see if they changed it. But yeah, let me check. I'm gonna let the video play though.
The Palantir Inc.'s $300 million deal with USDA to safeguard food supply. Palantir and
Another video. What is it? Yes, Palantir has a manifesto. What's the chick name? I'm probably gonna play that next.
announced a $300 million deal with the U.S. Department of Agriculture, which will use the software company's technology to manage farmland as geopolitical risks threaten global supply chains. Man alive, is that some pro-Palantir spin there from CNBC, at least trying to sane wash or greenwash or in some way like humanity wash this company? But this is not lost on everyday people. Activists have singled it out. We were on the ground with activists.
All right, you mean to tell me you gotta take this nigga serious right here?
Palantir is a radical Christian, misogynistic, right?
Radical Christian. Man, get the fuck out. Let's get to the next one. I can't take these niggas serious. Yeah, they these faggots. Goodness, look at these niggas. They're the fucking weird ass motherfuckers. Shit. All this shit need to go. Goodness gracious, all this shit need to go.
When I think of AI,
but anyway, the point is that AI is gonna be used to dictate who need to be shipped to the meat grinder to fight wars, and plus, speaking of meat grinder, what food you gonna eat and what allows it, all that shit. Let me get to the next. What is this Palantir about? Manifesto.
So this week, Palantir, the tech surveillance company founded by Peter Thiel, run by a very coked up
man, we can't live in this fucking world no more. I mean, it's already bad enough you got AI gonna be dictating how you gonna live, but then you got fucking faggot ass cross-dressing niggas protesting against. No, nigga, throw some pants on, nigga. Dress like a fucking man. That shit, nobody ain't gonna take you motherfuckers serious. You dressing up like a bitch, a grown ass. Hey man, let me get a scripture on that, cause these niggas need to be destroyed. Shit, not just these damn what you call them, technocrat niggas, but these fag ass. Let me calm down, cause this video going on to YouTube too. But god dang, let me calm down. Let me calm down, cause it's going on to YouTube, like I said. Damn, I can't find it. Where is it at? All right, I'm gonna have to zoom out. I kind of sort of about to go off topic, but I still have to read this because this is Babylon, and this shit pisses me off. That even though there got to be a heathen, an Edomite, but still, man, even Jake be on some goofy shit, dressing up like that, and nobody ain't gonna take you fucking serious. And when you on some supposed to be on some serious matter of protesting against something, which protests ain't shit either. But come on, bro, nobody ain't gonna take you serious when you dressing up like a female. You fucking weirdos. But anyway, Deuteronomy chapter 22 verse 5, a woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are an abomination unto the Lord Yahweh thy God. And the hell with you people, what you think? Shit, let these people dress their way. Okay, yeah, well, they'll watch them motherfuckers get killed, destroyed by Yahweh Shema Shah, and you niggas die too. Shit, by the Lord. Back to the video.
And named Alex Karp, the surveillance company that works with ICE to surveil your every move, the surveillance company that is helping Israel commit war crimes and genocide in Gaza and the West Bank. The surveillance company that I recently learned is actually in grocery stores in Australia, tracking every movement of shoppers. Super chill, super normal. Palantir, who, yet again, has gotten a lot of government contracts, but sort of sees themselves as kind of leading the knife's edge of technology into this new frontier, the new era, where we've finally crushed DEI and Western civilization is back on.
And that shit ain't got nothing to do with all that bullshit. This nigga's about oppression, nigga. Watching what? Hey, man, what's that shit? It's gonna be part of it's part of the CBDC stablecoin, the program. What you gonna buy and how you gonna buy things, food and all that shit. Come on, man.
Say that last part because you might not know that Palantir is a deeply psychotic company. They truly are Nazis. They are run by Nazis or
and plus they're Small hat people. Majority of them are Amalek. Yeah, majority of them are Amalek. There's another video about this shit, but I am not gonna get into it.
And they put out a tweet that basically confirms that. And we have to look at it, because seeing as they're surveilling us now, we should probably know what they're putting out there. Now look, if I were Palantir, I would probably get some celebs to endorse me, like do something fun, like have like a day, you know what I mean? Do like a little like adopt a pet day in the park. Everyone loves an adopt a pet day in the park. I would give out free stuff probably. I wouldn't go this route is what I'm trying to say, but they're not really
they don't give a fuck, nigga. They ain't about it all that bullshit about some damn a pet, whatever.
Getting these psychotic charges because they tweeted,
what the hell happened?
They opened with, because we get asked a lot.
I mean, come on, bro. This is Esau. That nigga ain't about that type of shit.
Now, I don't know about you, but I've never asked Palantir for anything. Like, I don't want anything from Palantir. I've never asked. I'm not really curious to hear from them. But here they go. Because we get asked a lot, the Technology Republic in brief. Now, I don't know what the Technology Republic is, nor do I care. But I'm assuming it is some sort of, techno-fascist manifesto that they've probably committed to some sort of Substack at some point, and now they're sharing with the world in case you haven't been privy to what Palantir is up to and what they believe, and why the f we would care what a tech surveillance company believes. But here we go. It's 22 points, guys, and I'm just going to read you a couple of them. One of them, national service should be a universal duty. We should, as a society, seriously consider moving away from an all-volunteer force and only fight the next war if everyone shares in the risk and cost. Amen. You first, Peter. You go. It's crazy, because if anyone do hand-to-hand combat with Peter Thiel, you can't strike a blow because he's so wet. It's the goo.
He's fucking moist.
It just deflects any kind of, any bullets, really. So
I don't know about all that, but shit, just send his monkey ass out there first. You know damn well that ain't gonna happen.
Basically, the draft, which Trump is already bringing back, or automatically registering people for. Number 7, if a U.S.
Nigga gonna say he got bone spurs.
Marine asks for a better rifle, we should build it. And the same goes for software. We should, as a country, be capable of continuing a debate about the appropriateness of military action abroad while remaining unflinching in our commitment to those we have asked to step into harm's way. So in other words, first of all, I don't even know what country you're talking about, my guy. You mean South Africa? You mean your country? Oh, but a certain subsect of South Africa, right? Just the pre-Mandela South Africa. Apartheid South Africa, right? Is that what no, you're talking about the United States. Okay, great. So basically, don't question any military technology. Always make a so-called better rifle for the warrior who you think should be everyone, but surely Alex Karp is not going to be fighting a war in Iran. It goes on. 9, we should show far more grace to those who have subjected themselves to public life. Now, I'm
going to stop right there, but if you want to watch the rest of the video, they go to the title of it, they go to the channel. Shit. Let's get to the next one.
USDA $300 million deal.
Oh, no, I want to play that shit. I already seen that. We already played that, and that's that cross-dressing nigga in that video. It's this one I wanted to play.
My op-ed today over at HartmanReport.com, very sober topic. It's titled "From Surveillance State to Kill Machine. Has the line already been crossed?" Ever think a drone could chase you down the street or fire a bullet through your living room window because you pissed off Trump or Miller or their ICE thugs? If you think that's science fiction, think again. The Trump regime has been putting into place the possibility of this for the last 14 months. This is the last Tuesday, while everybody was, following what's going on in Iran, rather than talking about Epstein or Trump corruption or his boys getting in on the military trough. Whiskey Pete's Pentagon rolled out a $1.5 trillion budget containing a 24,000% increase from $225 million to $54.6 billion for what's called the Defense Autonomous Warfare Group. This is the largest year-over-year jump ever. The very next day, the U.S. Southern Command announced that they have their own autonomous warfare command. This is based, focused on the Caribbean and South America and Central America, where Trump and Hegseth have already been blowing up these little boats, And you read these two announcements side by side, and you figure out what's, it's basically the operating manual for what comes next. This is, to put this into context, let's travel back to, 3 months to a tree-lined street in South Minneapolis, where Renee Good was murdered. 37 years old, published poet, earned her English degree from Old Dominion, the mother of 3, the wife of Becca. murdered by Jonathan Ross, an ICE goon who has never been charged or held accountable in any way. In fact, on the right, he's applauded. So I'm starting with her because she's the human face of where our country already is under the police state that Donald Trump and Stephen Miller are assembling, not where we're headed. By the time she was shot, ICE agents had opened fire on 9 people in 5 states and D.C. since September. None have been criminally charged. Just a few days after her killing, federal agents in Minnesota were heard saying, "That's why that lesbian bitch is dead." And in Portland,
Yeah, judgment. But anyway.
in Maine, an ICE thug was caught on video telling a woman who was filming him, quote, "We have a nice little database and now you are considered a domestic terrorist."
Oh, and you said, yeah, and the motherfucker said that, now you're a domestic terrorist too.
And that's the culture that these guys have built. So what's going on here? Well,
I guess so. Yeah, whatever.
Understand what they're planning, you have to know what's going on in Israel right now, because that's the template. A whistleblower in Israel, Israeli intelligence whistleblower, last year, or actually the year before last, leaked to an Israeli magazine, the magazine's called 972, about an Israeli AI system called Lavender. Lavender is a data system that ranked the entire population of Gaza, all 2 million people, based on their, quote, probability of militant affiliation. Lavender then automatically generated a kill list of roughly 37,000 people living in Gaza.
And damn, these are the holy people. What the fuck the holy people doing with some kind of shit like that? Anyway, these niggas ain't holy. These niggas are niggers. They devils. They need to be stopped, man. We need the Lord to come and stop these niggers. Shit.
Based on things like intercepted cell phone metadata and social media posts. It fed that list to human officers who spent an average of 20 seconds each approving the killing of these 37,000 Gazans that this program, this AI program, had identified as having possible militant, probability of militant affiliation is their phrase. Even more brutal, they've got a companion Israeli system called Where's Daddy that tracks those 37,000 men to their homes, because they concluded that killing them at home with a drone would have greater certainty and fewer side effects and be less difficult than killing them in a place of business or in a military setting. And
like I say, they're gonna be using this same shit on you damn Americans. Shit, dropping little bombs on you. Pew, boo, pew, boo, and blow your head off, hold your whole half your body up. Heck yeah. Well, we need the Lord, man. We need the Lord, man. This devil coming with great wrath. Let me get to that. I ain't sure if I was going to read this, but yeah, I'm going to read it. Revelation chapter 10, verse 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil, talking about Esau, Edom, so-called white man, but he ain't white, he's red as a baby dick sucking Jewish faggot nigger, Amalek, is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he has but a short time. Shit. Man.
that's translated to, by the way, the system, the Lavender system, has about a 10% error rate. So about 10% of these people who are killed,
probably more than the 10%, probably 50% shit error rate. They don't give a fuck. Hell, they going them, they cattle. So let the bombs drop. Shit.
So the 37,000, they bombed their entire house, killing their wives, their families, any neighbors, any friends visiting.
I mean, that's all that damn money. What was it, a $1 million fucking missile did that shit? Anyway.
Anything. This is all
why America, United States of Amalek is running low on missiles and shit, because they dropping it on their cattle. They're going.
Automated
killing anything that's related to military.
Killing an industrial scale. This is how, I don't recall the number now. I think it's in the neighborhood of 100,000 people in Gaza have been killed now by Israel. So when you look at what's being assembled here in the United States now, it looks virtually identical to this. ISIS.
Yep, and they about to use that shit on you everyday Americans. You pot belly, cake drinking, skull chewing, Newport smoking, or Marlboro smoking Americans.
signed contracts worth more than $60 million with Peter Thiel's Palantir to build something called Immigration OS and a targeting app called Elite, which stands for Enhanced Leads Identification and Targeting for Enforcement. Elite pulls data from the IRS, Social Security, DMV records, Medicaid files, utility bills, license plate readers, and perhaps most importantly, commercial data brokers who include, typically, your social media profile, and if you use a, quote, free email service, those companies...
So the free email service, there ain't nothing free, so they using it for something. Just like social media, there ain't nothing free about it. They're using it as a weapon against you.
Companies can read your email, and very often they do, and they sell that information to data brokers as well. So Stephen Miller, the architect of this, by the way, appears to have a six-figure investment in Palantir. Meanwhile, ICE has been buying and using Skydio drones for protest monitoring, and Customs and Border Protection has been flying MQ-9 Predator drones, most recently over ICE demonstrations in Los Angeles. And this is the mind-boggling part. The FAA posted a nationwide notice just 3 months ago, creating a 3,000-foot no-fly zone over all DHS and ICE vehicles. Now, you only do that if you don't want what you're doing to be photographed from the air, or if you're intending to use drones as weapons from the air. It's not just the feds, by the way, that are flying this stuff. The LA Police Department was using their Predator drones, or drones as first responder fleet, to surveil the January 31st ICE out rally in downtown LA and last month's No Kings protest. That's called mission creep, right? So now we've got this Defense Autonomous Warfare Group. Ken Klippenstein reported this week that the same budget zeroes out funding for civilian harm mitigation. In other words, trying to avoid killing civilians. So in other words, we're building out in the open the infrastructure that produced lavender in Israel and kills people in an automated fashion. And we're doing it with no public debate and no discernible pushback from anybody in Congress. We did something like this in Vietnam back in 72, between 67 and 72. It was called Operation Phoenix, and we identified some 20 to 40,000 Vietnamese as potential Viet Cong, and then went out and killed them. So we've been here before, sort of, but now it's really super high tech. With Renee Good, the decision to kill her was made by a human being. What happens when that decision is made in 20 seconds by a machine?
Yeah, by a machine that's, well, Edomite killed her, and now you got a machine that was so-called created by Edomite. How you think that's gonna work out? That motherfucker ain't gonna take no breaks killing people. You're gonna deploy drones all everywhere. AI gonna be working hard as hell killing people. Shit. Thanks to Esau. Man, we gotta get the fuck out of here. Shh. Man.
Down in Florida, which is where this command will be, and executed by a hovering armed drone that the FAA has cleared the civilian sky of so nobody can be watching. This now would be a good time to call Congress and say, what is...
Now would be a good time to call Yahweh Shema Shah. For you Israelites. It'd be a good time to try to build a spiritual mental relationship with Yahweh Shema Shah and repent. Because this nigga about to bring some hell to you Israelites. Woo-wee. Shit.
Going on with the elite program? What is going on with these drones that ICE now wants to have? What is going on with this Defense Autonomous Warfare Group? And what's going on with Stephen Miller investing in Palantir?
Yeah,
why isn't...
small head nigga. Well, hey, the earth given into the hands of the wicked. When the wicked bear fruit, the people mourn. Boy, they're going to be mourning, and plus they're going to get blown up by a drone. By these damn devils and they AI shit. Better seek the Lord. Let's get to this one. How much time I got? 58 minutes.
So the Pentagon and the Department of Defense were putting out this image earlier, and basically it says, enemies of America have been put on notice, American flag, and it appears to be Trump on the top of the White House with a bunch of drones, and they use a really creepy image of this, Department of War Advisory Research Engineering, you can see it right there. And today they were releasing their early designs, what appears to be like their Terminator robots. This is Fox News, and they're talking about the U.S. military is moving fast on AI warfare, and now building a command just for it. So I guess this is what they look like, and I'm just looking at it here with you. Okay, great. Southcom's top commander is ordering the first of its kind autonomous warfare command to deploy drones and unmanned systems across Latin America. From the seafloor to space, we fully intend to leverage the clear superiority of the American defense ecosystem. That's coming from a general. The move comes as the U.S. ramps up strikes and surveillance, targeting cartel-linked trafficking routes. The new command will employ, quote, autonomous, semi-autonomous, and unmanned platforms and systems to counter threats and challenges across domains, linking tactical missions to long-term standing strategic effects. And I just want you to see what this stuff looks like, because it's almost like either these people didn't see the movie Terminator, or they saw the movie Terminator and like, you know what, I really want that world, or you talk about the Matrix and such. But this is where we're at, and I want to go through the news today because there's a lot of stuff related to this, actually. This is also comment coming from our community. We got the best community on the internet. Jody says, maybe not such a good idea to make robots that can run faster than humans. Just saying. And I say for reals. And that was recently they did like a race, and it was like a marathon race with robots. And yeah, I agree. The thing is, like, we should all be able to see the dangers of the stuff that's going on, but you just have a lot of people out there who are really, really greedy, and they're looking to replace humans as fast as possible with robots that are faster, as Hicks likes to say, lethal.
Just use them to oppress people, humans. Yeah.
Well, he loves that word. And everything's like just whacked out. And I want to do a follow-up on the last week we talked about how Meta is going to be tracking you, but I don't think they're going to be alone.
It seems like it looks like a moment that the nerds fight back. The revenge of the nerds. Yeah, shit. I don't know. I'm just thinking, saying. Because you see who's ruling. I mean, they got this AI shit, and they going to be your new rulers, the new controllers. It's the nerds. Shit. I mean, there's different levels of nerds, because you're going to have nerds that read comic books. You're going to have nerds that play computer games and video games. And what is a nerd anyway? I mean, there ain't no nerd. Shit. I mean, what the fuck is a nerd? Nerds shouldn't even exist. Everybody got a little nerd in them. Shit. Like sci-fi movies and shit. You like stuff like that. Anyway.
Multiple countries are going to
I don't like that word anyway. I don't even know why I brought it talking about nerds. But these motherfuckers here. Yeah, but anyway, enough about the word nerd. You got to have some motherfuckers here controlling your life through technology.
In on this, and Google is now investing more into Anthropic, right? They're getting into AI. It says Google plans to invest up to $40 billion in Anthropic. So they're also, Google's got their own projects, but all these like sort of big tech companies are aligning with pushing again less people, more AI, more robots, etc. And they're all eyeing government contracts. Elon Musk is then trying to get on this grift, right? So he quickly merged multiple companies, and he's been doing this for a while. We've been talking about this several times on the channel. And now he's trying to go IPO with SpaceX and then try to get more government contracts possible. They're even changing the rules so he can get into the index fund faster. It's just Musk. I don't know how to say it other than that. That's what they're doing.
But that took decades. This is going to take a fraction. So, Jeffrey, is the problem here the rapidity with which we may create an unemployed class, where the society cannot recover from the rate at which people are losing their jobs?
That certainly is one big aspect of the problem. But there's another aspect, which is, if you use a tractor to replace physical labour, you need far fewer people now. Other people can go off and do intellectual things. But if you replace human intelligence, where are they going to go? Where are people who work in a call centre going to go when an AI can do their job cheaper and better?
Right. Yeah, this is.
So there's not another thing.
There's not another thing.
We open another thing, and then AI will do that.
Right. Whatever thing you open, AI can do.
You can look at human history in an interesting way as getting.
AI can't do everything, but they still want to replace people. Will fire your ass. So then, better the chances of you taking a chip implant to market the beast, because that's what this shit is all about anyway.
Rid of limitations. So a long time ago we had the limitation you had to worry about where your next meal was coming from. Right. Agriculture got rid of that. It introduced a lot of other problems, but it got rid of that particular worry. Then we had the limitation you couldn't travel very far. Well, the bicycle helped a lot with that, and cars and aeroplanes. We got over that kind of limitation.
And it's interesting when you watch through this stuff, thinking about how, for me, I feel like we're in a prequel to the dystopian, sci-fi.
Yeah, everything is planned out.
Future that all those novels and stories and movies warn us about.
Because all those novels and stories are their plans. And they put their plans out there for the people can read and enjoy and be entertained by. But actually, for some people, you got eyes to see, ears to hear, and a brain cell to process what's going on. Is more of a blueprint to the elite, the wicked elite, that, hey, some people take this shit as entertaining, but you better take it as a warning. Yep.
Know that they bring up how you bring up a new technology and then it frees our time to do other things, right? But the issue that we have right now, which I'll show you some more stuff, is
what they call it, revelation of the method.
Going after more, desk jobs, thinking jobs. You want to say intellectual jobs?
This shit ain't predicted. This shit is planned. Oh, fuck all that predicted programming shit. I don't like that word. I don't like that. I guess a phrase or whatever. Predicted program. Ain't nothing. It's planned program. Shit.
Say that. And where are these people going to go?
These motherfuckers ain't predicting shit. These niggas planning this shit.
The good future of AI is one of
immense. What's the word predict? Is it like a guessing something's gonna happen? But I don't know. Oh my goodness. Come on, man. This shit take so long to load up the microphone. Predict, meaning. I could have just typed it in and would have been quick. To predict means to declare, say, and estimate in advance what will happen in the future. Yeah, and often, well, fuck that shit ain't predicted. Hell, I don't like that using that word predicted. Was that they're talking about predictive programming? It's more like planned program. Anyway,
Prosperity, where there is an age of abundance, no shortage of goods and services. Everyone can have whatever they want, except for things we artificially define.
The only thing that's not planned, well, they plan on, was predicted how much resistance will they get, because you don't really know how much resistance there'll be from the people. You know, how will this work out, and when will they get this developed? But they plan on having something done.
Be scarce, like some special artwork.
Fucking African booty scratching nigger, Edomite.
But anything that is a manufactured good or provided service I think with the advent of AI plus robotics, that the cost of goods and services will trend to zero. Like, I'm not saying it'll be actually zero, but everyone will be able to have anything they want.
Basically, you're all going to be rich because things are going to be so cheap, according to Elon Musk. The thing is with a lot of these, tech bros, if they really did care about regular people, they would be giving away their money now and doing charitable things now.
Yeah, but they're not, because they are the wicked. They're Edomites, Amalekites. They ain't like that. They spirit ain't like that.
But he's clearly not. It's just a bunch of nonsense. And when you look at sort of what he's after government contracts. And I told you guys this before, the government is, trying to turn everything to AI, et cetera. Less people, more robots, basically. This is from the Department of Defense. They say the DOW Chief Digital and AI Office. A Marine Corps command was losing 24 to 36 hours to manual data synthesis to give leaders faster insights. A user built a modular agent to automate the analysis. Now, info from scattered platforms is summarized in minutes, faster decisions, more focus. And this is what they're tweeting out. They're basically trying to have everyone use AI and put all in the...
And then, hell, there won't need no need for humans to organize and do all this shit. Yeah.
Into the cloud or whatever. I think this is going to open up.
Your ass won't be doing no desk job. Your ass be out there slinging bullets, nigga. And this bitch, too. Probably be somebody's booty, too. Out in the battlefield booty.
To a whole bunch of security concerns. For those of you who are, into computers and hacking and stuff like that, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this stuff. But that's sort of what we're talking about here, and they're just pushing that along. Like these commercial things, and they're just bragging about you can't win if you don't try, and they have Hayes out talking about how we all need all of these AI agents, and we're going to be working so much faster, etc. But this is their plan. The problem is, though, in long term, if none of us have jobs, the economy just completely falls apart, right?
Oh no, they gonna have something called UBI. They gonna give you some money to stay, I don't know, afloat or whatever. But in it requiring that money, you gotta get the chip implant, the mark of the beast.
Consumer-based economy.
Yeah, because you ain't making nothing here in this country, just buying shit.
The companies then trying to get all this money are trying to grab it while they can. This would be ChatGPT, stay curious. So we're going to be seeing more images of dogs listening on headphones.
That motherfucker jamming.
Or I guess birthday cakes or diners, 5.5. Each company keeps releasing newer models. If you guys have been following this AI race, so I guess now they're on 5.5 for ChatGPT. And while all that's going on, regular people are struggling with human relationships. Right? We're getting more pushed towards digital.
Yo, that remind me of what that movie called? I just watched not too long ago. Good Luck. Have fun, don't die. Yeah, that's the name of the shit. But it's based off of, it's about the man coming from the future. He traveled from the future to the past to warn people about. It's basically like Terminator, and yeah, it's just like Terminator. And I ain't gonna tell you any because it's just like Terminator, sort of, except it's the sun. It's not. Well, anyway, I ain't gonna get too much into it, but watch the movie. It's a comedy, but the things they talk about, they always have it in these movies. It goes over people's head because it's a comedy, but the things they talk about is true, like cell phones ruling over the minds of people. They always got their eyes on the cell phone, and all kind of shit. Anyway, and it's gonna lead to people's destruction. They talk about AI gonna destroy people and all this other stuff. Yeah.
And we're pulling back from human to human. So
Then after that, I was watching that one movie that was an action comedy. I hate fucking action comedies. But this movie is fucking ridiculous. But it's about, what's that shit called? It was I forgot that bitch name. She on that show ATL or was. I don't watch that show. I just know she on that show. The Eve chick. And she in this one movie talking about They Will Kill You. I think that's the name of it. And she in that movie too. Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. She in that movie too. But what happened? Yeah, she was that shit was ridiculous. It's a satanic. She in this satanic. It's a hotel or something. By these Satanists and these niggas here. It's retarded. But whatever. Anyway.
Some Americans scale back dating as costs and apps add pressure, survey says.
Alright, it's a bunch of nonsense. I'm gonna get this last video about, I don't know what is it about, but it's, well, the title says US versus China. The hidden surveillance, not surveillance, the hidden some of that satellite war you didn't know about. Let's get it.
Right now, the United States is trying to control.
Before I go any further with this video, let me go ahead and read this. Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds when the morning is light they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. Yeah, this is in the hand. The earth is given to the hands of the wicked, and the Lord is allowing these devils to continue on with their wicked ways by trying to oppress the shit out of people all over the world with their technology. But the Lord will shoot at them with a arrow that's going to fuck their ass up and fuck up their whole establishment of the New World Order. Don't know when it's going to come, but it's going to happen because the scriptures say so. That means the Lord says so. But let me continue on. And they cover fields and take them by violence in houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. When you think times are hard right now, shit, you ain't seen nothing yet. Anyway, I forgot how that song goes. You ain't seen nothing yet. I think that's how it go. Sorry, I'm just all over the place. Anyway.
What the world can see in this war. But in doing that, it may have just handed that power to China. Everyone's asking the same question right now. Where is China in this war with Iran? And does its absence prove that the United States is still the undisputed global power, making all this talk of a multipolar world meaningless?
Yeah, it ain't a global power with not hardly any missiles. But they got those energy weapons, though. And I don't know when they're going to start using that shit.
That narrative gained traction, especially during the early days of the war. But it misses something far more important. China was never going to show up with warships or fighter jets. That was never the strategy. As many serious China watchers keep pointing out, Beijing will not confront Washington directly. Instead, it's letting the United States overextend itself. And in that sense, what we're
seeing
right now is simply benefiting China, as Washington pours resources into another volatile conflict while
draining themselves out,
weakening its own long-term position. Even publications like The Economist have hinted at this dynamic, framing the situation as one where the United States' actions could be accelerating its own strategic decline. Meanwhile, China's approach has been subtle but deliberate, condemning American and Israeli strikes as violations of the international law, and through Xi Jinping quietly emphasizing stability in the critical choke points like the Strait of Hormuz, signaling that while China may not appear on the battlefield, it is far from absent in shaping the outcome.
I ain't gonna play no more of this. This is a totally different video. I'm gonna play this for something else. Yeah. Actually, I need to move it somewhere else. Make sure I don't delete it. Well, I can't move it. Well, anyway, actually, I can move it from here. Just go back to here. I'm about to end the video, but I played a little bit of it before, but I had skipped some stuff. But it's mostly about war. That's all. I thought it'd be like war surveillance. Who would be the top leading country of surveillance? But really, that ain't even necessary to fight for any of these nations here. To be in control of surveillance. Hell, they are going to be surveilling people. But anyway, that's all I got to say. That was 12:44 on the clock. I'll praise you about your shot. I'm all over the place. I'm just a little hyped up. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, seek Yahweh by Shemal Shah by seeking his prophets and take the heed to what they say and try to build a spiritual mental relationship with Yahweh Shema Shah by praying Yahweh Shema Shah, praising Yahweh Shema Shah, worshiping Yahweh Shema Shah, fearing Yahweh Shema Shah, repenting to Yahweh Shema Shah. To all the men out there pushing this truth and nothing but the truth, in the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh Shema Shah. Keep on preaching, keep on teaching, keep your faith and trust on Yahweh Shema Shah, and stay humble. And for you few sisters out there, taking heed. Keep your faith and trust on Yahweh Shema Shah. Stay humble, stay in order with your man. If you ain't got no man, stay in order, Yahweh Shema Shah. Peace and bless to the hopeful elect, and all praises to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. Shalom.